Welcome everyone back to North to Prem. In today's episode, we have our first two fixtures in the National League North for our second season here in the Save with Peterborough Sports. We're away, to Leamington Spa. They're just called Leamington now apparently, but they used to be Leamington Spa. And then we are at home to Bishop Stortford. If you missed the last episode, we did do our new season and transfer special, so I definitely recommend you go back and watch that. But essentially, we've had an absolute blinder from taking over the job at bottom of the league last season to having a much bigger turnaround. Playoff, unfortunately, we didn't manage to win, but we did manage to get in them, which is massive. Um, but we've turned it round. The media think we're going to finish third. I think we should be trying to win the league. Absolutely. There is a couple of good teams in the league, but also there's a lot of newly promoted teams, so that should be lot of easy points, I guess. I'm not sure, but we do have our first newly promoted side not in the game originally in Leamington. So this is the team that we're going for. We've got Cowler making his debut. Obviously joined us as our new starting goalkeeper from Luton. We'll see how he gets on. We've got a back four of a Hui, Kobe Small, Connor Johnson, and Brandon Horton. If you want to say Brendan Horton, it's Brandon Horton. Small and Horton making their debuts. We've got a midfield two of Shalner, who was here on loan last year, just like Ahui was here on loan last year. And he's going to be partnering up with Joe Knight, who joined us on a free from Brighton. Then our front four is as it was last season. Hines on the right, McCammon in the middle, Mooney on the left, and Chukwuemeka up top. Other debutants who are sitting on the bench, obviously Fox is making his first appearance. Potentially make his first appearance as a Peterborough actual player. He was here on loan from Peterborough, I think was it? Yeah, he was on loan from Peterborough last season, but he will be a Peterborough Sports player officially now. Ben Wyatt, Jordan Cropper is another debutant. He was joined us on a free from Barnet in the National League. Ibrahim was here last year, and Gabriel Overton is on the bench, who very much will be probably making his debut. He's currently on loan from Peterborough as well. A couple are missing out. Obviously, Lonsdale, Titchmarsh, and Robertson all miss out today, but those, definitely Titchmarsh. He might work his way into the squad. We'll see how we go. The idea is it's going to be between him and Chalner for who's going to be that ball winning midfielder next to. I'm pretty certain it's going to be Knight. Ibrahim, I'm seeing more as an attacking mid change there. Felix is currently on his way out of the club. He's under a transfer bid from Farnborough, so we'll see how that develops in probably this episode. But we've got our new squad, we've got our 11, we've got our bench, and I think this is the team that can very much win a National League North. I think a lot of these players are leading, well, the coaches and the staff here at the club definitely think that the majority of these players are leading players. We haven't got anyone who's lower in the starting 11. We haven't got anyone lower than a leading National League North player. Leamington are one of the newly promoted and are one of the media favourites to go back down. This is very much a game we should be winning. Get that on. But speaking of newly promoted, I mean Gainsborough did take an early lead there, so maybe it won't be necessarily a foregone conclusion. And it is a Leamington free kick here, and Cowler did have to cover it there. And this is obviously we have got a few debutants, so it's going to take probably a little bit of time to get going. But a lot of these players, especially the front four, they're used to playing with each other. So realistically, we should be winning this game. But we haven't really looked like our usual selves so far. Obviously, we had a terrific turnaround last season when we joined the club midway through the season. But yeah, I mean, it's not looking like the best start, but might just take a couple seconds to get going. I mean, Hines has a terrific chance there to put us a goal ahead, but he's absolutely wasted it, knocking it behind there. But we do have a couple of yellow cards as well, which is not really what you want to be seeing so early in such a fixture. I mean, stats wise, we have been the much better side, but the couple of highlights have really all been. Well, I guess there's only been two. We were kind of guilty of this last season as well, having very uninteresting first halves and then really having to turn it around in the second half. But it did work. But this was honestly a team I thought we were going to come over and steamroll. So maybe temper the expectations just a little bit. The board just want us to get playoffs. I guess it's not the end of the world if we weren't to get there. I think we'll bring Ibrahim on or Shalna. He can play a little bit deeper. He's probably not as defensively good, but he is probably a little bit more creative, so he can play next to Knight. A lot of these players not having the best debut. Obviously, Johnson and Small on 6.5s there. A lot of the attackers not looking too sharp either, but I'm sure it'll click. It'll probably just take a little bit for some of these players, some of the new lads to get going. Probably take a little bit for a couple of the dynamics to work, and it'll obviously work if we can get a win. But Knight gets his free kick denied by the post there, and 30 minutes to go. It's not really looking good, is it? Um, Obviously, we've got Overton on the bench. He can make a difference. You know what? We're going to put Chukwuemeka out wide, bring Gabriel Overton on his debut on loan from Peterborough, and hopefully he can make a difference. Obviously, Chukwuemeka might not be as much of a playmaker down the right hand side, but he is a big, massive man, so we could get a ball in to him. But Overton's got a chance here, and he does have a chance, and he plays it across. And Dan Mooney did his best to miss, but thankfully it's just creeped in. And Gabriel Overton, an instant impact off the bench, gets an assist for Dan Mooney, who I always say, regardless of how poor he's playing, if Dan Mooney gets a chance, he's going to take it. He's always going to get on the score sheet, and thankfully he does get us on the score sheet for our first goal of the episode and our first goal of the season as Joe Knight gets himself on the score sheet, and it's another debutant making an impact in the game. Joe Knight, it was a heavily deflected shot, but it doesn't matter. It's gone in nonetheless, and that does give us a little bit of comfort knowing we're now 2 goals up. I think we'll probably make our third and final substitution. Everyone's kind of playing well. There's not really a reason to take anyone off, but I guess we'll bring Cropper on for his debut. He still needs to get a little bit of fitness going, so we'll bring him in on for his debut. See what he can offer in the last 10 minutes. Who he is definitely more of an attacking fullback, so it's definitely good to have him back at the club. But Chukwuemeka, I mean, maybe a future out at right mid and Overton in the middle could be. I'm not sure how Hines is gonna, how well Hines is gonna be. It could even be a case of bringing. I was going to say something and I completely forgot. Well, Cropper gets himself on the well, not the score sheet, but the assist sheet as well. And another one of the players making their debut manages to make an impact. He whips it in, and Dan Mooney again getting on the score sheet. He's a regular goal scorer for us last season, and it looks like he will be again this season. A comfortable 3-0 win in the end, and pretty much what I said. We have very uninteresting first halves, but for some reason we just get at them a little bit, and we just managed to turn around the second half. Very good, really good turnaround there. That could definitely be an option to bring Chukwuemeka out wide because he can play the ball. Definitely at this level. I mean, he's not the best dribbler or anything like that, but I think at this level he's good enough. But Overton looks very sharp. He looks really good. Honestly, surprised he can't play out wide because of how quick he is and how good he is with the ball. I mean, he pretty much played as a winger there, and Mooney really came in as a striker. But overall, good result, and let's try and follow it up with the away game. So for our second game of the episode, we are at home to Bishop's Stortford. We are going to very much go with the same 11 that won the opener. Obviously, there is potential to probably bring other players in. I know Shalner didn't do too well on his debut. You know what? I think with that in mind, we'll bring Titchmarsh in. We'll give Titchmarsh his debut, give him a chance in the middle. Obviously, I think Shalner does have potential to come back in, but he didn't play too well. Hines didn't play too well either, but we'll stick with him for now. I don't want to play Chukwuemeka out wide too much. He is very much a striker in my eyes. But I think the rest of the team remains the same. I was very happy with the back line goalkeeper last game. But very much, I think Shalner was probably the disappointing player there. He's not lost his spot forever, but I definitely think we should a go because realistically, Shalner didn't play well, and when we took him off, it was very much a case of improved side once he went off in that second half. Maybe Ibrahim's the option. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But Bishop Stortford are very much a team down. You'd expect to be down near the bottom of the table. I'm not sure how they got on in their first game. I guess we'll see in the reform when it comes up. But a good 3-0 win to get us going, and if we can maybe get off to a second win here. Okay, they'd actually lost their first game, so absolutely we should be looking to win this. I mean, we should be looking to win every game league this year. Southport must have had a really good opener. They're currently top of the league, but I think a second 2 wins from 2 would put us in really good confidence for the season. It is Titchmarsh there picking the ball up. He looks pretty quick there, which is definitely what I want to see from my ball winning midfielder, just someone who can nip in. Because ball winning midfielder isn't all just about being able to put a big challenge in and tackle. It is very much a case of getting in front and getting the interceptions in. Well, it's obviously not about winning the ball back through tackles. It's very much getting in and getting the ball back through interceptions. But an early goal there does settle the nerves as Ahui whips the ball in, and Josh McCammon gets his first goal of the season. Peterborough Sports won 1-0 up here as we and Kings Lynn are the only teams who are actually currently winning both of our games. But genuinely, I don't know when we'll come back for next episode because if we're going to be winning most games, it's not going to be the most interesting of seasons. I mean, obviously, it'll be great because we just want to go up at any But if the games are going to be not competitive, it's not going to be really the most exciting watch. But obviously, we want to see us doing well as well. So it's kind of we want to win the games. Obviously, we want the games. As Titchmarsh looks really good there again, dipping in, and he definitely looks quick for this level. So I'm not sure when we'll come back. I'm sure we'll find some interesting fixtures as Mooney gets the ball up there. I think he's offside though. The offside? I can't see the linesman. No, I think it's been given. Wow. Okay, Dan Mooney gets his third goal of the season after getting two in the first game. So we are currently winning 2-0. And again, it looks like it's going to be another good result for us. Very much, I think Titchmarsh is going to be the one to play because we do look a lot better. Ben Chalner not in the side, which is a shame for Chalner because he's only in on £50 a week. So if we could get him playing really well. But honestly, I think we should be doing well against all teams here. Obviously, these are teams expected to finish near the bottom, sort of half and bottom end of the table. So it's really not. We won't read into this too much that we're going to, walk away and run away with a league win or anything like that. We're not going to go invincible, I don't think, and nothing crazy like that. But we are looking very promising, and I do think we will be able to probably rotate a little bit just with the fact that I think pretty much all the players are good, even on the bench. I think last season we had a decent 11, but I think some of the depth was quite poor. So realistically, I think we'll be able to rotate a little bit more this season and bring players in and out of the team and be able to get more involved because I definitely think we've got some players. Saying that, McCammon is on a yellow card, so we'll bring Ibrahim in. We'll give him his first game in the attacking midfield role. Usually he plays as more of a ball winning midfielder or a deep line playmaker, sort of in the defensive mid role. So be interested to see how he gets on playing a little bit further up the pitch. I think he would be our second choice to play there. As Dan Mooney goes down, and we are going to have a penalty, and it's a chance for Caleb Chukwuemeka to get his first goal of the season. I think he is someone that very much looking over his shoulder because Gabriel Overton, as he just converted there to make it Gabriel Overton is very much if I had to pick between the two of them and they were both my players, I'd probably be picking Overton. I do like a fast striker. As much as I like a big boy, someone who can win headers and stuff, I definitely think at even this level, they're both really good strikers, so it wouldn't really be a case of one being a better option than the other. Speaking of that, though, I think, you know what, let's bring Chukwuemeka onto the right again, because I think that worked really well last time. We'll bring Overton on, and we'll bring Cropper on again as well, because he did well when he came on, and he still needs match sharpness, so we'll bring him on. Very much the three exact substitutes we used in the last game, so that could definitely be something we look to do quite a lot. It is the same scoreline currently at the minute as it was last game, but there is 20 minutes remaining, and it won't be the same scoreline because Joe Knight just puts in a free kick from distance. That's his second in 2 games as well, so he is looking like a really good signing. Obviously, he is, I think, our highest paid player along with Chukwuemeka. I think they're both on 575. So he's definitely showing that he's worth that money, though, as we do go top of the table with that actually because of the goal difference. So we are currently sitting top of the table, and I mean I think that's where we want to be aiming. Looking at some of the teams that you'd expect to be up there, I'm not seeing Scunthorpe, I'm not seeing South Shields. They haven't won both of their opening games, which is definitely interesting. Definitely looks like Southport are going to be a decent team this year, but it is going to be a late highlight, and hopefully we can keep it out so we can keep both games being a clean sheet. We haven't conceded a goal yet. Not sure what Overton's doing there. He does well to come in and intercept it, but he just kind of levers it up. Not really sure what highlight this is going to be, but I think it is going to be ours. As Ibrahim plays it through to Mooney, he's looking for an option, not really finding one, so he goes out wide, but he can get the ball in, and Ibrahim does really well there to get in front of his man, and it's a good finish, and I think that's a very promising sign that he can definitely be someone to play in that attacking role, and we do finish the game, Peterborough Sports 5, Bishop Stortford 0. That's 8-0 over 2 games. 8 goals scored, 0 conceded. Really, really good start to the season. And we are going top of the league. We've got 8 points on the goal difference already, and we are at 6-6, so 2 wins out of 2. Very good start to the season. Really happy with that, and I think realistically, yeah, we should be going for a league title win. I definitely think so. Let's go. Let's get automatically promoted. Let's not have any heartbreak of the playoffs again. So I think a lot of these games. I mean, Southport's probably interesting, but it's probably too soon. Guiseley, Alverton, to be honest. I think we'll come back for the Scunthorpe away fixture because they're probably going to be a team that, after a couple of games, are more high in the league. and Oxford City, who were newly relegated from the National League. As you can see, they finished rock bottom of the National League, and they haven't had a very good start to life in National League North either, losing 4-0 to Southport and a 2-1 loss to Guiseley. That's poor because they are not newly promoted. So that should be an interesting one. Scunthorpe, who you would expect to be up there. I guess they did just draw a late equaliser, so they probably actually it was a late equaliser for them, but they are going to be someone who will be up there, I'm sure. So we'll come back for that for the away fixture for Scunthorpe and the home fixture for Oxford. So we've got a lot of games to play in between. We'll obviously cover all of the results in those, as well as an FA Cup qualifier. But I just think we don't need to see as many games we saw last season. I think it'll be a much more straightforward season. Fingers crossed. If that isn't the case and results start to get interesting, then we might come back a little bit sooner. But I guess we'll just play through off camera and see. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for the next episode of North to Prem very soon.